Gretel Hagbane fusion is here. Hey guys, finally he sleeps here, back again with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today we're going to take a look at the fusion calendar and what events are required here for Gretel and what the best way to take a look at this is. This is another straightforward fusion. This one is not fragments. It is just straight up you're grabbing players, which is exciting because these champions are all available in you can summon them, so if you get lucky, you'll be in good shape. It is set up so that there are 4 events for each of the rares that are required to fuse the epic that you need, and you need 4 epics. So you pretty much have to go in on everything. The only extra that we have is Signy is available in the Summon Rush as well. The Summon Rush for next weekend, which is a week away from here, and it'll be, it's not like you have to, finish in the top 3. Summon Rush is going to be, it's going to be a high-end reward if you're using a ton of shards to get you there. So, I mean, it's possible if you decide to do that, because right now we have Champion Chase, which is good for a rare. It doesn't require a whole lot to get the rare that you need there for Champion Chase. So, I mean, you could skip that. You could skip 3 other events as well and just go all in on Summon Rush. I don't recommend it, especially if you're free to play and you run the 2x2 method where you are 2 weeks on and then 2 weeks off, hoarding resources to be able to do the fusion when it comes back, which is what I do. If that is what you're normally doing, it is not going to benefit you at all to kind of come in and use all of your shards now for this. It's just not the most effective way to go about this. The best thing to do is just try to do everything at minimum level just to claim all the rares and use that Summon Rush for next weekend as kind of a buffer in case you don't pull any of these rares in the Champion Chase or just throughout doing your daily stuff, or you don't have a chance to finish one of these, or you screw something up, you get behind or whatever, then take a look at Summon Rush there at the end and go for that, because it looks like you're going to have a rare on the low side of things, and on the top end you're going to have that epic to kind of make up for things. The only possibility is that if you do go in for that epic, then you won't have to do the artifact enhancement and spider there at the end, and you probably could skip the Dungeon Divers 3 as well if you're 1 behind in there. So take that as consideration. But we are already in day 2 for this. We have moved into Friday. The way these go, if you're doing the 2x2 method, when the fusion begins, we see in the calendar that the very first component there is Dungeon Divers, and the recommendation is day 1 you do not go in. Don't hit Dungeon Divers as soon as it releases. It is just a waste of energy, because usually on day 2 more events unlock that overlap, and that's what we want to focus on. So like right now we have 4 events that are running. We have Champion Chase, Ice Golem, Champion Training, and Dungeon Divers 1. Then tomorrow we'll also get Artifact Enhancement and Classic Arena. The Classic Arena events are a standalone. There's no excuse to not complete those. They don't take energy. They just take your Classic Arena tokens. Pretty simple. There's nothing there to worry about. The Artifact Enhancement, though, isn't going to benefit you to do anything other than hoard your coins that you're claiming right now for Dungeon Divers and Ice Golem. So now that everything is open, the time to go after Champion Training with your maybe an Ice Golem team that's also training is great. But for me, I'm focusing on Ice Golem first, running my speedy Ice Golem team to collect all of the points necessary just to get the minimum rare required from Ice Golem, and then use those coins to sit aside and take care of the artifact enhancement when it unlocks tomorrow. Champion Chase and Champion Training go hand in hand a little bit as you start training champs in campaign. And again, as always, if you pay attention to the actual event, the Champion Training events, the points that we're getting out of this, as far as what your when you're actually coming into Champion Training and receiving your points for level upgrades in campaign, is it's 1 point for 1 and 2 stars, 2 points for 3 stars. In the past, we've seen some of these events where you're not getting double points for 3 stars, but you are here. So running campaign, 2 runs through on 12/6 for 3 star, 3 runs through for 4 stars, 4 runs through for 5 stars, or you can also just do like 4 brews for the 5 stars, which is what I do. And I'm talking about your food. We're not talking about the actual champions. We're talking about the food. So, for example, I'll go to 12/6 here, and we'll look at 4 stars. So I've got 3 4 stars, which are going to be food, and I will use those 3 4 stars and run 3 campaign runs on these, just to be able to have the points that come in for that. And if we're getting 3 points for each of those 4 stars, that is each run through, like the first run, if they're going to go to level 7, if you've got the raid card, that is 21 points, and you're getting times 3 for each of those to be able to do it. It does make a difference to use the campaign runs for your food. Don't miss out on that. Going into this, once we get through the Champion Training and you're using that to gather all of your extra stuff for Champion Chase. Champion Chase is also the time to claim any of your champions that you've got set aside for stuff like old fusions to claim, or if you're doing any of the campaign fusions just to garner points. Do all of that during Champion Chase. Just to get as many points as possible, and then you might pull some through your Champion Training in campaign as well, and then just use shards as a last-ditch effort to kind of fill that out. Artifact enhancement is easy. You're going to use the points you earn from the Ice Golem tournament to do the artifact enhancement over the weekend. Classic Arena takedown, no excuse there. That's one that's an easy to be able to do it. And then right before Champion Training ends, Dungeon Divers 2 starts up along with Dragon. So if you're finishing out Champion Training with campaign, you're going to earn a little bit of points there at the beginning of the week for Dungeon Divers 2. But then you're going to double that up with Dragon, and that should be able to finish out your Dungeon Divers. Dungeon Divers at the back end of it doesn't overlap with anything else. So once you finish Dragon, if you're gonna you're gonna have to finish Dungeon Divers 2. You can use anything that you want there to kind of go in and do it. I suggest using Spider. That's where you get the most points. It's the easiest for usually if you've got a decent Spider 20 team, you can get the quickest points to finish out Dungeon Divers with the least amount of energy spent. And then use the points that you earned there from Dungeon Divers 2 to do that next artifact enhancement towards the end of the week. And then it just kind of rolls in. And when you pay attention to this, if you've got a Fire Knight team built that allows you to train, use that. But wait until Dungeon Divers 3 is unlocked. You don't want to waste your time in that Fire Knight until Dungeon Divers 3 opens up on Friday. Do not waste that first day pissing away energy on Fire Knight when you don't get the points for Dungeon Divers as well. Summon Rush, that Summon Rush that starts next weekend, that's the one that allows you to get a rare and an epic if you're behind. And then a second Classic Arena is an easy one to take care of, with this whole thing finishing out with a Spider tournament that also overlaps Dungeon Divers 3, and then that last artifact enhancement. So like I said, this thing is about as simple as it gets as far as fusions go. There's no real excuse not to be able to claim this one if you're paying attention to the calendar. That's it. We don't know any more about when Hansel is going to be available. I think there's a lot of people that feel like Gretel on her own is a skip. which makes sense. I agree with that. I understand that Gretel, it could be a straight up skip, but Hansel and Gretel together seems to be a formidable pair that I don't want to miss out on. And if we do get what we had last year with the Halloween fusion for Tiny Tim and Kaja, the crazy ass bitch, those two were simple to get. It came down to a Deck of Fate event, which was how we pulled Tiny Tim. And if you have 20 sacreds set aside and they do a Deck of Fate event, which we're hoping for, then that makes Hansel a guaranteed. But again, that's speculation. We're just going on what we had last year and what we've seen in the past. But if that is the case, and you have the ability to get Hansel, or you pull him and on a shard, and you didn't go in on Gretel, Hansel is not near as strong by himself as he would be with Gretel. So again, in my opinion, this is one that you're not going to want to miss out on. It should be worth going in to get. I'm Finally He Sleeps. As long as you guys keep showing up, I'll keep making videos. That way you never miss anything here with Raid Shadow Legends.